The news at 5:45 with Martin Lewis.
The football fire judge says he's hunting the facts, not deciding who's to blame. How the plastic surgeons of the North are combining skills to repair the injured. NUM moves to sack Nottingham's working miners' leader. And American police drop a clanger and destroy an entire city block. Good evening. The High Court judge heading the inquiry into the Bradford fire has said he won't be handing out any blame for Saturday's disaster. Mr. Justice Popplewell said he'd come to Bradford to look, learn and listen. Police now believe 52 people died. They included 12-year-old soccer-mad twins Richard and Robert Ormondroyd, killed beside their father Gerald. Another missing man has been found safe. 3 teams of plastic surgeons are operating on the injured. Today, Everton and Liverpool soccer clubs gave £20,000 to the Disaster Appeal Fund.
After a briefing from senior police and fire officers, Mr. Justice Popplewell went straight to the stadium. Club chairman Stafford Higginbottom pointed out the corner of the stand where the fire had started. The judge confessed he was horrified. His job will not be to point an accusing finger. The judge said the inquiry was designed to improve safety standards at sports grounds in general. Club officials have refused to talk today about the mystery letter from the County Council last summer, which voiced concern over fire safety cover at the ground. So was this something the judge would look into?
Obviously something which will arise in the inquiry. What conclusion we'll come to, we'll have to see when we hear it all.
This morning, Club Secretary Terry Newman picked up the mail before leaving. The letter had been sent to him last July, but there's no record of it arriving at the club. And as police continued their search of the rubble, the Assistant Chief Constable announced the letter was now part of his inquiries.
I'm going to look right into this, and then I am going to decide whether it is thought that it is for me to discuss that with you or whether it's for someone else. And I'll look at it, and when it's been decided who or what. I mean, I understand that the chairman of the club has said that he regards that matter as sub judice. Now, I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with that, but certainly if that's what he feels, I certainly would want to look at the situation. But I will look at it. I'm not going to duck it. I'll come back to you on it.
During the day, fans, relatives and friends of the dead and injured have been to the ground to pay their respects. Outside the turnstiles where many people died trying to break down locked gates, a small memorial of flowers has gradually built up. These 4 schoolgirls had friends who died here. At this gate, a small memorial to a father and his twin sons who all perished. This woman's husband escaped. She came with the family this morning to give thanks. The inscriptions are simple but touching. Colin Baker, ITN, Bradford.
At St Luke's Hospital, Bradford, lunch is wheeled in for plastic surgeons and medical staff too busy with burns cases to spare time for the canteen. 3 teams of surgeons operating today, surgeons from all over the North working together in this time of crisis. An incredible workload, a tremendous feeling here of team spirit. In between operations, meals snatched on a neatly laid table in the surgeon's locker room. The chief plastic surgeon here is David Sharp.
We're scheduled to do about 20 cases today, which will leave us about 20 to do tomorrow. We're a little bit behind, but we hope to catch up by having a quick lunch and dashing back in again. But I think by the end of probably by 7 o'clock, we'll have got the schedule for today finished. And then I think we cracked it.
Lunch over, it's back to the operating theatres. Patients waiting, a seemingly never-ending list. Vernon Mann, ITN, Bradford.
The appeal fund for the injured and bereaved is growing so rapidly, council officials have hardly had time to count it. The latest estimate from the appeals office in the City Hall puts the total above £200,000. Letters from the public are pouring in with donations from all around the country, expressing their deep shock about the tragedy. This afternoon, councillors in Bradford stood and observed a minute's silence in memory of those who died in the fire. Their chief executive announced that the city itself would be donating £100,000 to the fund. Letters from the Lord Mayor of Bradford are to be sent to 84,000 companies to help raise funds towards the appeal target of £2 million. The police have set up a special team to help the relatives of those who died in the fire.
Some have to be handled a bit differently to the others. And of course, we've learned as we've gone along. but they've shown great strength of character at a time of great distress.
What's been your most difficult scene?
The difficulty is where there's the younger members of the family, older, everybody. I mean, we've gone to the door, there's still hope, and that person is still with us.
One of the Nottinghamshire miners' leaders who opposed the strike says he's being told he's been sacked from the National Union. Mr. Roy Link called the move a toothless decision and says he'll fight any attempt to remove him from office.
The threat to dismiss the NOTS leaders was first considered by a meeting of the National Executive last Thursday.